Along the desolate floodplains of the Sepik River, cut off from the modern world, a deadly threat lurks: crocodiles stalking every small village. They strike under the cover of night, tearing through pig pens, snatching chickens and ducks, even ambushing farmers waiting by the shallows. Just one attack can wipe out a family's entire food supply. Canoes are overturned, children no longer dare to swim, and once rich taro fields now lie abandoned as irrigation ditches turn into deadly traps. Villagers build bamboo fences, set traps, and light fires through the night, yet nothing stops these cunning predators. Faced with such relentless danger, hunting seems like the only option left. Stay with us to see how the locals fight back against these ferocious beasts. Hidden beneath the murky waters of the Sepik River, massive crocodiles lie in silent wait. Their rough, scaly backs drift on the surface like rotting logs. Masters of camouflage, they can stay motionless for hours, ready to launch a sudden strike. Many grow over 15 feet long, weighing nearly half a ton, with jaws strong enough to crush bone in an instant. For the people living along the riverbanks, these predators are a constant threat. Facing them takes courage and hard-earned skill, because a single mistake could be the end. To take on such a beast, hunters need rifles that are both powerful and precise. A crocodile's back is armored with rock-hard scales that can deflect weaker bullets with ease. Using a small caliber gun isn't just useless, it can enrage the animal and trigger a deadly charge. That's why heavy rounds like the .375 H&H Magnum, .416 Rigby, or .458 Winchester Magnum are considered the top choices. They deliver immense stopping power, strong enough to punch through the croc's thick hide and strike its vital organs. However, the real key isn't the size of the rifle. It's whether the bullet hits the vital spot. Against a giant crocodile, a missed shot can spell disaster. The brain and spine are the critical targets, but they're tiny and well protected, demanding steady aim under extreme pressure. Only a perfectly placed bullet, just behind the eye or at the base of the skull, can bring the beast down instantly, before it slips back into the depths. Timing is just as crucial in the hunt. Dawn and dusk are when crocodiles reveal themselves most often, sometimes crawling ashore to bask, other times drifting quietly on the surface as the sun sets. A hunter must learn that rhythm, patiently watching every move and habit tied to the hours of the day. Only by understanding these patterns can they choose the safest and most effective way to strike. Closing in on a crocodile is a true test of patience and restraint. On the stifling, overgrown Sepik River, every step and every breath has to be measured with care. These predators can sense even the slightest movement in the water. Just a small splash or a clumsy stroke of the paddle is enough to send them slipping into the murky depths, leaving nothing behind but the hunter's frustration. Hunting crocodiles is unlike chasing any other animal. They're not only deadly in the water, but also terrifyingly fast on land. From what looks like a calm riverbank, a croc can suddenly lunge forward, covering an unbelievable distance with bone-crushing force. That's why hunters must always keep a safe distance and never underestimate the lightning speed of these predators. On a crocodile hunt, having a backup shooter is absolutely essential, since the first shot doesn't always bring the beast down. A boat gives hunters mobility and some protection, but even there, one violent tail strike or sudden lunge can flip it in an instant. That's why every member of the team must stay on high alert, because a single moment of carelessness could cost them their lives. Few realize that behind the hunts on the Sepik River lies a deep cultural tradition spanning centuries. For the local tribes, crocodiles are more than just dangerous predators. They symbolize power, strength, and spiritual connection. Their presence is etched into wooden carvings, marked in ceremonial scars on the skin, and preserved through countless ancestral rituals. The hunt on the Sepik River reveals not only the raw brutality of nature, but also the deep cultural ties between people and crocodiles. It's a perilous journey, where every moment is charged with tension. What about you? If you came face to face with such a fearsome predator, would you stand your ground or back away? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow the channel so you won't miss the next thrilling story. In the grasslands of South Africa, lions, once symbols of strength and freedom, have now become a growing concern for the people living there. With only about 2,000 to 3,000 remaining, these predators still cause hundreds of millions of dollars in damage each year. Attacks on livestock, sleepless nights for families near the forests, all of it has thrown daily life into chaos. So the question is, how are the locals protecting themselves from this deadly threat? And are their methods truly creating a lasting balance between people and nature? Let's find out in today's video. In August 2024, South Africans faced a wave of lion attacks. Dozens of incidents, many ending in tragedy. One woman recalled the terrifying moment when, during a quiet walk in the park, a lion suddenly charged at her, dragging her away as screams echoed through the air. Luckily, she was rescued just in time. Stories like hers spread fear across rural areas and wildlife reserves. In response, the government had no choice but to act, enforcing strict measures to protect citizens while keeping the unpredictable lion population under control. In South Africa's hunting circles, the name Derek is often spoken with admiration, a symbol of courage and precision. Known for taking on the fiercest lions, he's built his reputation on skill, experience, and the right equipment. Derek favors powerful rifles like the .375 H&H Magnum, .416 Rigby, and .458 Winchester Magnum, capable of piercing the thick muscles of a charging predator. Paired with premium scopes such as the Leupold VX 3i 1.5, 5x 20mm or Trijicon AccuPoint 1, .4x 24mm, he can track and strike with deadly accuracy, even when his target flickers in and out of view beneath the fading light. For Derek, safety always comes first on every hunt. He rarely goes alone, usually heading out with a team of 4 or 5, including professional hunters, clients, and most importantly, trackers with sharp eyes and razor-sharp instincts. They follow footprints, study the wind, and read a lion's behavior to guide the group's movements, careful not to leave any trace that might alert the predator. Every step is deliberate and calculated. As for the clients, whether seasoned hunters or thrill seekers, their participation helps sustain the local economy and supports ongoing conservation efforts. On every trip, Derek and his hunting clients must carry special permits, not only to stay within the law but also to uphold ethical hunting standards. The cost of these licenses varies by region, ranging from a few thousand to over $20,000. When the first shot rings out, Derek never rushes. He carefully watches the lion's reaction to see if the hit was enough to bring it down. If the animal is still moving, the entire team immediately shifts into high alert. They follow faint trails of blood through the grass, moving slowly and in complete silence. Every experienced hunter knows one truth: a wounded lion is the most dangerous predator of all, ready to strike back at any moment. When managed properly, lion hunting can bring significant economic and ecological benefits. The fees paid by international hunters for licenses and services not only support local communities, but also help fund wildlife conservation programs. Controlled hunting helps maintain a balanced lion population, a top predator essential for regulating herbivore numbers and keeping the ecosystem healthy. Despite its benefits, lion hunting remains highly controversial, especially when it comes to trophy hunting, where pride and profit often take precedence. Many see it as cruel and damaging to conservation efforts. Poor management, overhunting, or targeting only the strongest males can weaken the population, reduce genetic diversity, and increase disease risk. Beyond that, the economic gains from tourism and hunting fees must be shared fairly. When local communities are left out, conflict and poaching inevitably follow. The battle between humans and lions in South Africa isn't just a story of survival. It's a search for balance between human life and nature. Every bullet fired carries a weight of responsibility, not only toward wildlife, but also toward the future of this land. What do you think is the best way for humans and lions to coexist? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next thrilling hunt. In Montana, where the majestic Rocky Mountains stretch endlessly, winter often opens a special journey for wolf hunters. This land is not only famous for its wild landscapes, but also as the home of the cunning gray wolf, a predator that always makes people both wary and curious. People say the success of a hunt depends greatly on equipment. Indeed, more than 70% of hunting victories in Montana come from a sound mimicking tool, one that imitates the cries of prey wolves usually hunt. The echo reverberates through the mountains, tricking the pack into thinking prey is nearby, luring them toward the hunters. Thanks to this, the grueling search process is shortened significantly. The wolf hunting season usually begins in November and lasts until March of the following year. During this time, each hunter is allowed to take only 50 to 80 wolves, a number that may sound large but is actually strict. Exceeding the quota can lead to fines of up to $2,500 per extra wolf, even the risk of license revocation. For hunters, the law is not just a restriction but a safeguard to maintain the fragile balance between humans and nature. By day, tracks are hard to find, but when night falls, hunters gain sharper sight through thermal imaging. By detecting temperature differences between the warm wolf bodies and the icy environment, hunters can spot their targets even in complete darkness. However, not everyone is permitted to use it. Hunters' eyesight must meet strict standards, for even the slightest error could turn dangerous. This technology quickly gained widespread approval, with 85% of hunters agreeing it is more effective and safer. Over 10,000 people have been trained to master these modern tools, working alongside authorities to control wolf populations. Yet, no matter how advanced technology becomes, hunters never forget one fact. Wolves possess extraordinary senses of smell, especially sharp in detecting human scent. Keeping a safe distance, about 300 yards, has become an unshakable principle to avoid being discovered too soon. Safety always comes first. No one can join wolf behavior training without proper permits, and each hunting trip is best carried out with at least 3 teammates. In the deep forest, the support of comrades ensures not only precise shots but also protection against unexpected dangers from the wild. When the season ends, hunters' duties are not over. They must compile actual numbers and report them to local authorities. These records are used to monitor, evaluate, and adjust strategies for the following year. Amid Montana's cold wilderness, the wolves' howls echo as a reminder of untamed nature. If you find this journey exciting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more thrilling hunting stories.
On ya guys.
Today, let's step into a tense yet fascinating journey. The hunt for Komodo dragons, one of the largest and most fearsome reptiles on the planet. Weighing up to 90 kilos and stretching over 3 meters long, they move with surprising speed, armed with saw-like teeth and saliva filled with deadly bacteria. Just a single bite can put a victim in grave danger. Beyond threatening people, Komodos often attack livestock, causing massive economic losses each year. It's this very danger that forced the Indonesian government to allow strictly controlled hunting. To join a Komodo dragon hunt, hunters must first obtain a special permit issued by Indonesia's Ministry of Environment and Forestry. But these permits are extremely limited, with only a few dozen to just over 100 granted each year, depending on population numbers and environmental conditions. Those lucky enough to secure one are bound by strict rules. No hunting alone, every kill must be thoroughly documented, and the total number taken can never exceed the set limit. Hunting Komodo dragons has never been easy. Hunters usually carry heavy rifles, most often .30 to .300 Winchester, powerful enough to bring down the beast with accuracy. But weapons alone aren't enough. The law requires each group to have at least 4 to 5 members, so when danger strikes, they can back each other up and make it out alive. The dry season from April to October is considered the best time to hunt Komodo dragons. With food in short supply, they're more easily lured into baited traps. But every hunting activity is tightly regulated. Hunters are only allowed to follow approved routes, ensuring the fragile habitat of these creatures remains protected. On every hunt, the key to drawing out a Komodo dragon is bait. These beasts have an extraordinary sense of smell, able to detect the scent of carrion from miles away. That's why hunters usually use fresh meat like goat, pig, or cattle. As the strong odor spreads under the scorching sun, the giant reptiles soon emerge. That's when hunters must keep their distance, track every move, and wait for the right moment to pull the trigger. The Komodo dragon's critical weak spots are its skull and lungs. A well-placed shot there can bring it down in an instant. But in reality, it's far from simple. When enraged, a Komodo charges with lightning speed, and a single swing of its tail can send a grown man flying. That's why hunting teams always divide their roles clearly. One shooter, a few spotters, and the rest ready to defend and step in when chaos breaks loose. When a Komodo dragon is taken down, the job isn't over. The hunting team must record detailed information, including the estimated age, gender, location, and exact time of the kill. All of this data must be submitted to the Ministry of Environment within 24 hours, either through the regional offices or the online system. This strict process allows authorities to closely monitor the number of dragons hunted, preventing overharvesting while protecting the remaining population. Thanks to these measures, Komodo attacks on humans have dropped by more than 30%, and livestock losses have fallen by 75%, allowing farmers to regain stability while preserving Indonesia's iconic reptile. The journey of hunting Komodo dragons has revealed both the brutality and the mystery of these giant reptiles. Behind every shot lies not just survival, but also the bigger story of conservation and nature's balance. What do you think? Does controlled hunting truly serve as the right solution to protect both people and Komodo dragons? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow the channel so you won't miss the next videos.
Peace in Zimbabwe seems to have been disturbed by small but persistent noises. Troops of Chakma baboons are becoming bolder. From the farms in the southern Mazuba region to the suburbs of Bungo, they not only tear up crops and attack people, but also break into houses, causing significant losses. Locals estimate damage at up to 450,000 Su in 2025. A radio station in Mambairo lost 15,000 Su after baboons chewed through cables, and farms around Hani reported thousands of dollars in losses after pens were ransacked and poultry stolen. Conflict between people and baboons is growing more tense, especially during droughts when water and food are scarce. Many farmers are being pushed to the brink, while local hunters, driven by the need to earn a living, are forced to act to protect livelihoods. So how do you approach these intelligent animals? Experienced hunters typically study troop movement, tracking the routes baboons commonly take, along the Save River or through garden plots near Betu. Identifying natural resting points where they stop to feed increases the chance of a safe approach. Thick brush around Nima or large boulders in the Mava pools are examples of ideal hideouts. They both block sight and give observers a place to wait. Choice of weapon and ammunition is not a trivial matter. In Zimbabwe, many prefer calibers such as the .23 Remington, .43 Winchester, or the 6.5mm Creedmoor for their accuracy and power, enough to resolve the situation without excessive recoil. Semi-automatic rifles are useful when quick follow-up shots are needed, for example when baboons bolt suddenly. By contrast, bolt-action rifles work better in open areas such as near Lake Curry, where shots may be taken from long distances. Scopes must be carefully zeroed, and hunters should practice trigger control so each shot counts. Shooting position often determines the success of a hunt. Hunters look for a solid rest like a bipod or a flat rock in the Cheru area to stabilize the rifle. When a baboon appears, the window for a shot often lasts only a few seconds. Firing from the flank or from behind usually optimizes effectiveness. After taking a shot, it is essential to hold position and observe. Troops may return or stand at a distance, creating an opportunity for a second shot. But don't let emotion override reason. The hunt isn't over even if the target is hit. A wounded baboon can be extremely dangerous. A single moment of inattention is enough for the hunter to become the victim. Therefore, watching the animal's reaction, confirming its condition and checking for bullet impacts are meant not just to assess the shot but, more importantly, to ensure the hunter's safety in future outings. But don't let emotion override reason. The hunt isn't over even if the target is hit. A wounded baboon can be extremely dangerous. A single moment of inattention is enough for the hunter to become the victim. Therefore, watching the animal's reaction, confirming its condition and checking for bullet impacts are meant not just to assess the shot but, more importantly, to ensure the hunter's safety in future outings. In just a few short days, once peaceful fields had turned into battle zones, torn apart under the hooves of countless wild hogs. Fear spread so deeply that no farmer dared to plant another seed. Refusing to give in, Mark and his hunting crew set up an ambush, carefully tracking every sign and path these beasts usually followed. For them, this wasn't just another hunt, it was a fight to defend their land. But would the plan hold, or would the nightmare continue? Stay with us through this gripping journey and tell us which moment left the strongest impression on you. As dawn broke, Mark and his team quietly moved into the field, scarred with signs of destruction. The hunting dogs were released, noses pressed to the ground, and within seconds they picked up the scent. Their sharp barks shattered the silence. Then, out of the brush, a massive boar burst forth, charging straight at the group. No one flinched. Gunfire cracked through the air, and in an instant the beast collapsed. But everyone knew this was only the beginning of a dangerous hunt that still lay ahead. Moving deeper into the field, Mark kept his eyes fixed on the shifting shadows of wild hogs. Then he spotted it, a massive boar, head down, feeding without the slightest clue it was already in his sights. Mark slid into position, steadying his rifle. With one smooth motion, he pulled the trigger. The shot rang out, and the giant beast collapsed instantly. A clean, decisive takedown that ended the threat in a heartbeat, leaving the field as if it had finally breathed a sigh of relief. But the danger wasn't over. From a distance, more dark figures suddenly emerged across the field. This time, Luke, one of Mark's teammates, was ready. Gunfire erupted in rapid bursts, every shot hitting its mark. Several hogs staggered, stumbled a few steps, then collapsed, ending their rampage. Another stretch of land had been secured, safe once more from the wild intruders. As night fell, the Real chase began. At exactly 7 p.m., Mark and his team were already in position, waiting silently in ambush. Through the infrared scope, the field lit up like a glowing canvas, every movement traced in bright streaks. Near the edge, a herd dug furiously at the soil, unaware they were being watched. Mark gripped his rifle tight, aimed, and pulled the trigger. The blast shattered the silence, throwing the herd into chaos, leaving several wild hogs lifeless on the cold ground. Suddenly, a message crackled over the radio. Another threat had been spotted. Through the infrared scope, it wasn't just a lone hog but an entire herd gathering, ready to tear the fields apart once more. The team held their breath, rifles locked on target. In the next instant, the night erupted with a storm of gunfire. The herd scattered in panic, but it was too late. Within minutes, bodies lay across the ground. Another massive threat stopped in its tracks. Tonight's hunt may be over, but the threat of wild herds still lurks somewhere in the dark. The battle to reclaim every inch of land has never been easy, and for the farmers, it's a fight they must face day after day. If you want to see more dramatic and unexpected stories like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the next episode. On Fraser Island, Australia, tensions are rising as dingo attacks become increasingly frequent, recalling dangerous encounters from the past. This year alone, a 23-year-old woman was cornered by 4 dingoes. She was injured but fortunately rescued in time by nearby tourists. Authorities said such incidents are not new, and the aggressiveness of dingoes has sharply increased over the past decade, bringing back memories of the early 2000s crisis, when government control efforts were fiercely opposed. Not only do they threaten humans, but on farms in Queensland, dingoes also cause severe damage. They attack at night, costing farmers up to $2.5 million a year in livestock losses. Meanwhile, the tourism industry in Hervey Bay is also shaken, as visitors begin to reconsider trips to its pristine beaches. In early 2025, the Australian government officially approved a dingo hunting plan, a controversial but unavoidable decision. The plan was carried out mainly on farms, where attacks were most frequent. Hunters often work in groups to reduce risks. Experience shows that ground signs such as droppings, sheep's wool, or bone fragments clearly reveal dingo activity. They tend to mark territory by rubbing against large tree trunks. If the footprints are fresh, it means they were there just hours earlier. Technology is also used in control. One of the professional hunter's secrets is using sound devices that mimic the labored breathing of prey. This sound triggers predatory instincts, luring dingoes out of their dens in search of an easy feast. But the chance lasts only a few seconds. The hunter must keep a 30 to 50 feet distance for safe and precise action. In addition, foothold traps are placed strategically, often under dry leaves near patrol paths, to trick their sharp instincts. At first, when the government gave the green light to hunting, public opinion in Australia strongly opposed it. But reality spoke. In just 3 peak months, more than 2,500 dingoes were hunted, while foothold traps caught over 3,800. As a result, livestock attacks dropped by 65%. People, once outraged, gradually realized hunting was not destruction but a way to protect livelihoods. According to experienced hunters, dingoes must be collected within 24 hours after being hunted. If left too long, the risk of disease and pathogen spread becomes very high. Animal decomposition releases bacteria, harming the environment and livestock. That is why hunters always stress, hunting is only one part of the process. Equally important is handling the aftermath safely. The question remains, has the current hunting measure been effective enough, or should it be improved further? Both the people and the Australian government must consider carefully, as the conflict between humans and dingoes is far from over. Returning to visit my family, my heart sank as I looked across the rice fields, once lush and ready for harvest, now reduced to ruins. Wild boars had plowed through our land like a storm. That's why we hunt them, not only for my family but for the sweat and hard work of the entire village. Will we return safely from this mission? Only time will tell. Today's strategy was clear. Everyone had their assigned position, radios were ready for coordination and support. Our camouflage was perfect. Before sunrise, we were already in position, hidden in the hunting blind about 40 meters downwind from the automatic feeder. At exactly 6 a.m., the machine dropped corn. The crisp sound and strong scent were the perfect lure. Moments later, a massive dark figure appeared. It trudged toward the feeder. The moment it lowered its head, unaware of the danger, was the golden opportunity. I slowly raised my rifle, aimed at its weak spot, held my breath, and pulled the trigger. The first shot hit, a clean takedown. The hunt had begun. Less than an hour later, Ethan's voice came through the radio, another target down. Gunshots echoed through the forest, each one a declaration that peace was being restored. Soon after, the team fired again, everything went according to plan. As the sun rose higher, we moved deeper into areas with good shooting angles. With years of experience, I chose a spot behind a large tree, upwind, facing a small clearing, the perfect place for a precise shot. Soon, a group of boars appeared. I waited, breath held, until they stepped into the trap zone. Boom, one shot. The bullet flew fast and true, they didn't even have a chance to react. After a while, rustling and snorting sounds came from ahead, unmistakable signs of foraging boars, too focused to notice the danger. I aimed at the biggest one, probably the leader. Took a deep breath and pulled the trigger. Another threat neutralized. That shot was the result of years of discipline, now rewarded by countless trips into the wild. Ethan's voice came again, and we moved to support. When we arrived, a whole herd, big and small, was feeding. The tactic was clear, lock onto the leaders. I stayed calm, chambered around, and pulled the trigger. The bullet hit them, boars fell one after another. The greatest threat was gone. We sighed in relief, but the mission wasn't over. As dusk fell, their most active time, we returned to our ambush spot near the feeder. The boars didn't know they were walking into a trap. I chose the largest one and fired the final shot, a perfect ending to an intense but successful hunt. Hunting requires not only courage, quick reflexes, and persistence but also a steel heart that never wavers. Everything we do is to protect the golden rice fields, to trade effort for peace in our village. Which scene impressed you the most? Leave your thoughts below.